Hi YouTube, how are you doing? I don't know how long I'm going to be on here, but I thought I'd take a few minutes and talk about a couple things that are on my mind. Thought it was humorous, not for people that are going through pain, but the people that have been through some, what we would call like the dark night of the soul, like devastating sorrow. If you've only had one, consider yourself blessed. Um, but some of us have had hundreds, if not thousands. So after a while, it's like my 19th nervous breakdown. Who gives a shit after the third one? Or Tom Petty's breakdown. Go ahead and give it to me, you know? Who cares, right? Anymore? But I heard these people that were saying 3 a.m. they're lonely the other day. Now, one of them changed it to 2 a.m. and another one said something like going into the night, with those sorrows and being alone. And it's far more lonelier going out in public and being greeted by people with empty eyes and no smiles for me. But, you know, that's to each person, to each their own, right? you know, but they thought they were getting at me because of like a failed relationship or something. Oh, honey, baby doll, kiddos, boys. You know, sorry, I couldn't help it because it's true. All these so-called spiritual gurus out there trying to educate other people on human emotions that they don't really even understand within themselves. That's rich. I love that. Tell me more. You know, I'll tell you some more. How about no matter who it is, when you find out that you really don't love them, but you just love the idea of them? Yeah, consider that for a minute. Doesn't matter who it is. Do you really love them? Are you brave enough or bold enough, or if a person's acting like a shady character, are no matter who they are you bold enough to tell them that they are shady and that you don't like them for it? Or you love them as a human being, but you don't like them and you have no respect? How about that? You know, because when I found out, okay, if somebody's treating me poorly, I didn't love them. How could I have? You know, I loved the idea of what it could have been. I loved maybe happy times. And most of the time, those happy times were instigated by my imagination. So looking back at things, it's like, nah, it wasn't love and it wasn't even an infatuation. You know, I would call it hormones. Maybe. No, it was more. But, the point is, getting over our sorrows in life and using emotional care towards ourselves to do that, and pointing out somebody's dark night of the soul, like which one, baby dolls, you know, over and over again, like that's gonna crush a spirit. Hey, I can be on here crying about a sorrow, and I've cried in public. I don't care. I'm not weak. I'm far from weak. I can body slam you and cry at the same time. So, don't get anything twisted there, you know, or laugh and attack somebody at the same time. If I get hurt first, I might laugh while I'm coming to take care of business. So, and it's not a joke. That laughter is not funny, ha ha laughter. I find humor in somebody actually being bold enough to confront me like that. So, but these spiritual leaders or whatever they think they're doing constantly bringing up things like when you were at your lowest and I might be at my lowest next week. How the do you know anything about me? What my lowest was? You assume if people have heard stories of my life, it's like even my ex or my kids or whoever, parents, not everybody knows everything about you. And as a matter of fact, they wouldn't recognize a certain personality type sitting right in front of them, you know, because they're not like that. They would recognize you were different, but they wouldn't know why, you know. So I'm not hiding from anybody. I'm I'm maybe spiritually protected. Some of us are, or whatever you believe in. Um, but I'm not hiding. Are you kidding? I baited Satan so I could confront him. Who am I hiding from? No, you're hiding, not me. You know, I'm serious. I have wet hair right now because it's hot out and it just feels good. No way am I going to use my blow dryer right now. So I thought I'd wait and make a little bit of video. I was trying to do some online shopping earlier, and after like 100 pages of junk, I couldn't figure out what I wanted in it, so I bookmarked it. I'll go back another day and drive myself crazy, but you know. So anyway, yeah. So you see what I'm saying? Do we actually love somebody that's undesirable? Or did we love the idea of who they were when they were with us? You know? That that's a big question. Yeah, I mean, it's not a question for me. I'm perfectly sure when I was done, I was done. That's the way I am. But like once again, if I'm sad one day or happy another day, what somebody could assume that like when I first got on here with my YouTube channel, I just got through with a broken shoulder. I caught dug out of a tree. It fractured my shoulder and my arm in two places. Then, after not sleeping for a half a year, I turned around in the hallway late at night because I had been tired. I had been working all day. And we had set an old computer there that we were going to take out to get rid of. And I turned around and I broke two toes. I smacked them so hard I was like walking really fast. So I had almost like a solid year. And this is after a sinus operation, tooth operation from having my jaw broke. This is all within like 15 years. I had a stroke from unfitted, poorly fitted gas lines that we had installed brand new, and they put the wrong fittings on it, and it was coming up right where I slept, and I almost died, and more. There's more. When I first got on here, my hair had fallen out. I was bald for a while. I mean, when I first got on here to make my YouTube channel, and now I'm feeling better and I'm able to do my exercises again and stuff. People are like, oh, you're glow up. You don't have any idea what you're talking about. How about my glow up after I was paralyzed at 17? They said I'd never walk again. I pulled my spinal cord an inch and a half in a car accident. That's just one. Then I almost died from the swine flu after that same year. And I could go on and on and on. I started out life by being abused and having after I was born perfectly fine, is what my mom and grandma said. And I ended up with a herniated umbilical cord at 2 weeks old. So something happened. Maybe they left me screaming or whatever because I had been um, hungry and a lot of other things in my life from these people that did things to me. So, what dark night of the soul do you want to point out that I had? Which one? You know, glow up. Yeah, right. Like I'm some kind of glowworm or something, or a glow stick. Yeah, there she goes again. And we thought she was down. Oh, too bad. Didn't work. You know, it's called You Don't Have a Choice. Grow the hell up and stop whining about the shit that happened to you. You know, really. This, like I said to Doug this morning, these people got to really stop whining about what their mommies or their ex wives or whoever did to them. Get over it and stop bleeding all over everybody else, you know? And that's a real thing. I mean, sure, you might have been deeply in love with a person and you might have thought that they were for your forever person and that didn't work out. And the sting of a failed relationship, no matter what it is, isn't a pleasant thing to go through. But to sit there and get on here and remind people of it over and over and over again, you want some of my nightmares? Would you? You know, ever been in a tornado? Yeah. Oh, I could go on and on. You wouldn't even believe it. But anyway, so no, it wasn't a glow up. It was called healing after being pummeled half to death. Oh, and my horse fell on me because her leg got hurt. Somebody injured her. So yeah, long story on that. But yeah, I got smashed. I had blood in my urine, my kidneys. That's sometimes a death sentence. And this was all before this was, well, I had my broken toes when I first started making my YouTube channel 7 years ago. So, glow up? What? And there's more too. I could go on and on. You wouldn't believe that. I pulled all my stomach muscles and all the ligaments around them, um, and couldn't walk and had to wear a brace for, well, they wanted me to wear it for 6 months, but I just couldn't handle it. So, you know, but I mean, have you ever been told you couldn't walk again? I'd stand up, I'd grab a chair, and my spine would just go woo, woo, woo. No shit. My legs would wobble and I'd shake and I'd hold myself up with my arms and finally I could stand there without shaking. Took me about, 6 weeks to get more motivated again because I was alone and I had to pull myself across the floor to go to the bathroom. Yeah. So anyway, which 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 dark night of the soul do you want to hear about? My broken ribs? Huh? My broken tailbone, my separated pelvis? What? What? You know? Come on, people. Really. These little people out there, they have one failed relationship or their mommy didn't give them a fucking Twinkie and now they're all bent out of shape and it devastated their lives. It's like, just get real. For real. You know? There's so many people that are acquiring this narcissistic mindset to use their aches and pains in life to punish other people. And guess what? Uh-uh. I'm the equalizer with that shit. You don't even want to try it around me. It's not because of everything I've been through, and that's just scratching the surface. If I went year from year, there's so many things within 1 year you wouldn't even believe it. So, and everything I'm telling you is the truth, God's honest truth, Barb's honest truth. you know, before my creator. So, yeah, but I don't use those things as an excuse to treat other people poorly. That's really true. Like, you ever meet somebody that reminds you of your ex, or if you had somebody that was like bullying you in school or something, and then um, you have a tendency not to like somebody with that very same name, or something like that. People are psychologically twisted in a lot of ways that they don't realize that they're even doing to themselves. So, and yeah, I studied a lot of psychology. In fact, there's, and yes, professionally, I was a counselor and a TMA, trained medical, and an ex-nurse. So yeah, this and a paraprofessional at a sheriff's boys ranch, working with handicapped kids and working for Head Start, and um, a teacher in an elementary school and daycare, and I've done a lot of things during my life. I moved a lot when I was very young and had a lot of jobs, a whole bunch of different places, but I had my mainstay jobs that I would do, that I do well. So, and I'm a licensed contractor, licensed ordained minister. I mean, I have some accomplishments even through my aches and pains. And I think that too really, and a professional dealer. I opened up the first table up at our casino up there too for the chief and his wife, which was quite an honor. And I hostess up there was one of my last jobs. But so yeah, anyway, um, my point is, I piss a lot of people off because they've tried to keep me down, and no matter what they do to me, I still find a way to make myself okay. So these people that are trying to, they sound like they're throwing a pity party for themselves, because I don't want pity. I don't want sympathy. I really, really just want connection with good human beings that have morals. There's really nothing wrong with that. Of course, depending on what their moral standard is, it might be a little different than mine, but I'm talking true integrity and dignity, you know. So, anyway, so I have to mock you little boys just a little bit more here. Oh, 2 a.m. Poor babies. Call your mommy. Maybe that'll help. Or is it your mommy you're crying about? Yeah, that's probably it. So, anyway, I'm going to get this uploaded. I'm going to share a video in here. Um, kind of this, it's called Mind Lift. It's a Joker channel, but this person really does get where I'm coming from on a lot of different levels. And yeah, and just keep in mind, I mean, I'm not evil and cruel, but if you cross me and you keep poking the bear, you're gonna get what you're gonna get. If you leave me alone and it's a mutual respect, we don't have any problems, you know? But if you want to keep trying to play with people, not just me either, because I can't imagine somebody that's just, say their child just died, and they get on one of these channels and they hear some bull, you know, like that. Like, oh, when you're lonely at 3 o'clock in the morning, pardon the out of you, really. So it's not just for me, it's other people too. It's like, what a bunch of selfish creeps. Instead of lifting people up and relating to them like a human being, it's like they write down these notes of what a script's going to be and then talking their bullet points. Well, I mean, I used to write things down too, so I didn't forget something important I wanted to say to somebody. Now it's just like I just free flow. I decided never to edit anything. I really don't care. I'm not vain and egotistical like that. Some people can't even show their faces. And I really don't know why. I mean, it's kind of cool in a sense. Um, I don't know. Even with the Joker channels and the other electronic channels, I mean, if you can tell if there's some kind of soul behind the person or not. Maybe I'm sharing AI with you and I have no clue what I'm talking about. But what I do know what I'm talking about is the dark night of the soul isn't just at 3 o'clock in the morning or 2 when your bed is empty. It's whatever devastation you've gone through. And usually when there's physical ailments, it will affect the spiritual. And when there's spiritual ailments, it can affect the physical. Do you ever see like a really miserable person and they don't have any structure, any belief structure, any, whether it's religion, it doesn't have to be. What I'm saying is they don't have any, well, like they're lacking compassion. I guess that's the bottom line. And because of their lack of compassion, you can see the sickness in them. And I just froze. Okay. And I just unfroze. So, anyway, I'm going to get this uploaded. I appreciate you joining me. Have a really good night or day wherever you're at. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. I think. Okay.